and she's telling Chloe that like she shouldn't have found out that she was pregnant at this event. And so she threw a drink in her face. Hey, some friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm symptomistic, like optimistic, but make it sense. And we are here at the engagement of Chloe and Gary. Well, they were already engaged, but their engagement party. As you can see, all their friends are here. That's Stacey, that's Nikki, Chloe's sister. I definitely forgot her name, but that's Chloe's friend who helped her with the internship. If you need to know that, you need to go way back to get that information. And there's Barbie in her little pink dress. And we already starting off with drama because this is Chloe's old friend Marissa. Oh, that's Chloe's little brother. Uh, and she is starting a fight over nothing. Gary's in here drinking. But yeah, she's starting a fight over nothing with Chloe. And she's telling Chloe that like she shouldn't have found out that she was pregnant at this event. And so she threw a drink in her face. And this is the end of their friendship. Y'all didn't even really get to know Marissa. She was part of the fireside for a little bit. Chloe had been mentoring her because she started fireside much later, and Chloe was like further in her journey. And yeah, like I'm looking, and there's really no reason for them to have this drama at all. But just know y'all will never see this woman again. Like get a good look at her because she's out of here. That's the end of this. She's not been in the house, but you know, we are kicking her out. And I also want to let y'all know this episode is going to be moving rapidly fast. Like we are going through years um in this game. Like so much is going to happen, as you can see like from the thumbnail. Like there are lots of milestones in this episode. So just know years are passing. And if you're new here, definitely catch up on previous episodes. But if you've already been watching, you know that like I basically like pre-recorded a lot of stuff and then I'm kind of putting it together. So I'm way further in the game. If you are new, that's Alan. And then I forgot what the brother's name is. Ken? Is it Ken? I think the brother's name is Ken. They're twin brothers. Uh, Barbie actually had two sets of twins. So Chloe is a twin with her sister Nikki that I showed a little earlier, and the sons are also twins. So they're just like a little bit younger. I think they're definitely like young adults now. Yeah, they're young adults, so they're grown. I don't really play with them, so I don't know that much of what's going on in their lives, but you know, you can kind of guess just by looking at them and let me know what you think in the comments. And so I'm noticing that Gary is very attracted to Barbie. He's like, wow, if this is what Chloe's gonna look like when she's older, he's very attracted to her. Uh, Hopefully they're not doing anything inappropriate because I've seen some other Barbie Legacy challenges where some weird stuff happens. So hopefully that doesn't happen. But he does look a little flirty. And where is Cameron? Where is Chloe's dad? Maybe he's at work still. Maybe he's running late. Oh, there he is. Just when I spoke of him. I don't know who that woman is. Maybe she's just like a local political affiliate of Gary. And I love that Chloe and Nikki's style is so different. I've actually played with Nikki a little off camera, and she has twins as well, so must be like genetic. But Chloe, you know, spoiler alert, she doesn't have twins at any point in the storyline. So yeah. So I don't know what that's about. The parents are getting frisky, and so we're gonna move on. And then uh so Gary's also attracted to Stacey. Uh I mean I can see Stacey and Barbie actually look a smidge. They don't really look alike feature wise, but like complexion, body type, maybe they might look a little similar. But it's interesting to see that like Gary is just openly kind of making eyes at so many people. And then let's see what else happens while we're in this engagement party. Uh Gary does bond with Cameron, which is really nice because that's Chloe's dad. Also, Chloe looks so cute in this dress with her little belly. I'm obsessed with this dress. You'll probably see it again at another event, but I just think it looks so good on her. And yeah, and I think she kind of like matches her mom. It has a little bit of pink in it. Still keeping some pink themes, but not all of them. And so this is when y'all gonna be mad, y'all, because I don't really have footage from the wedding. I don't know what happened to it, but I don't really have footage from the wedding. I just got some pictures. One picture's in the thumbnail, so you're not gonna see that picture again. And then there'll be some pictures on the wall, but like I don't know what happened to my footage. But this is just Chloe at her wedding. I think she looks stunning and super cute in this dress. This venue is like everything's so nice. Look, even Cameron's like, wow, this is a very nice venue. But this is pretty much all I have from the wedding. It's kind of nuts. I put so much work into this, and then I just have these couple of pictures. But, she looks stunning. Everything went great. I think we're gonna move on. So, this is a little bit after the wedding, and Barbie reaches out and says that she wants to adopt a baby. And I kind of feel like Barbie is being a little competitive with Chloe. I think it's interesting because I didn't feel like this happened with Nikki. Nikki already has kids and stuff like that, and Barbie didn't have that experience. But I think because Chloe has wanted to like not be a stay-at-home mom like her mother, she feels like things are so different, and like Chloe has done a lot, and I think there's a little bit of like, oh, you didn't really do what I told you, and then you still kind of got what I had plus more, and there's some weirdness between Chloe and Barbie, so we have to figure that out. But exciting news, they had the baby. This is in the hospital, just in love and happy. And, Chloe's very happy, even though they did not go on a honeymoon. I think it was a combination of like pregnancy and Gary's career and focus on like doing as much as he can. They didn't really have a honeymoon, but Chloe is like head over heels. She does not care if this is moved like super fast or anything. Oh, and this picture is here. The family just came over to help with the new baby. The baby has arrived. It is Gary Jr. So she had a boy, and everyone came over, the brothers, the mom, and the mom brought her toddler, which I think his name is Dylan. So I don't know if this is helpful, like to have a newborn and then someone's like, "Oh, I'm coming to help, and I'm also bringing my toddler," or no, infant, not even a toddler. So I don't really feel like that's that helpful. Again, these things are messy and awkward, but Chloe is happy and adjusting to this new life. And she even decided to become a lawyer and finally go to school. Uh, if you never knew her before, she didn't get to go to school. Like, she had to figure it out on her own. And the parents had money for Nikki to go to school. They did not have money for Chloe to go to school. She graduated early. So now she's going to law school, and she's like kind of focused on having a career pivot. And this is also like to align with what Gary is doing. Now, as you can see, we are doing some funeral arrangement prep situations. And yes, Cameron has passed, which is very sad to hear. I feel like Chloe always had a good relationship with her dad, so this is just very sad that that's happening. And Gary also bonded with Cameron, and Chloe is, helping prepare and pay for the arrangements. Barbie doesn't really have that much money. Cameron worked very hard, but a lot of the money like went to the kids and then just paying off debt. And then she had that new infant that they adopted, and Cameron kind of like does whatever Barbie wants. So, they didn't really have a lot of money. So now, Chloe kind of has to figure this out. So I was just playing with this like funeral stuff because I never used it before. Uh, I didn't it I didn't love it. I just probably didn't know what I was doing. So I was just like toying with the different event stuff. But essentially they have a funeral, and then they are going to have like the repast and stuff at Chloe's house. And Chloe's gonna give a little speech, and you'll see all of that as well. I also will say that a lot of this weighs on Chloe. This is a lot to happen. She's in law school. She has a newborn baby. She just got married. Like, let's say this is all in the same year. Moved to a new city, adjusting to that, and then her father passes. So this is a lot to happen to her at the same time. And I think she's kind of overwhelmed, but she just knows that like this is not, obviously she didn't want her father to pass, but like a lot of these things are things that she wanted. I don't think she realized that it would like go from not having these things to having them very quickly. This is everybody at the funeral dressed in black. The woman in the back is Michelle, which is one of Barbie's closest friends here. And then you see, I think everybody else you met already. I think that's Ken and Alan. And yeah, everybody looks for the most part great in their funeral attire. The mom looks great. Nikki looks great. The brothers, I think they look great as well. And Chloe is just like, we are gonna band together and work, to like be a closer knit group and during this situation. So don't mind that broken person over there. But Stacey is actually moving in with Chloe, Gary, and Gary Jr. So the way this kind of occurred was during the like repast, Stacey kind of saw how much Chloe was struggling and offered to help. Stacey also kind of wants to be mentored by Gary. So it's not fully like just the kindness of Stacey's heart. And we kind of see that in that Gary changes a little bit now that Stacey's living here. Like Gary's kind of becoming like unpredictable sometimes and standoffish to Chloe. And I think Chloe notices it, but she is also like, oh, he's probably feeling the stress of like having a new baby and all of these things going on. And so she kind of just thinks like, oh, after a while things will get better. And time goes on. That is actually Gary Jr. aging up a little bit. So you are seeing like years are passing, Stacey's still here, and time is moving on. I think Gary and Chloe, they still have like a lot of their chemistry, but in some ways, I think Gary is starting to like start thinking more about himself and his singular focus, as opposed to like the family unit, which Chloe is thinking about. And we're not really sure how that works out. So this love story is becoming very complicated. Thumbnail was definitely like the IG grid post, and this is like what's really happening. And right now we are here, just I think visiting the gravesite of Cameron and spending some time with the family. Uh, Gary, cares a lot about Cameron, and so he's here as well, even though normally, like, he's just not for the family activities. He's just off working. And this was also my chance to get out to, I don't remember what world this is, but the world with Life and Death, because I have not played in this at all. And, like, even now I haven't played in it. After that, that was it. Eventually I will find a storyline that fits that, and I will spend some time there. Yeah, they went out to eat after after such a heavy experience. So Gary and Chloe took the family out to eat. And they are just spending some time together, catching up. There's oh, Stacey, yeah, Stacey is babysitting the child at this time, and they just went to a local place in Copperdale, like a diner, super casual dinner. One of the reasons they went in Copperdale as opposed to closer to the gravesite is because this is kind of beneficial for Gary's career. It shows him out and about in the community, shows him like supporting this large family. It just makes him look better, and he cares about that. So this fits him very much, and he gets to connect with all the patrons as well. I don't know what they're ranting and raving about. Like, I'm just gonna ignore that part of the story. Uh, yeah. So things go from kind of bad to worse. Barbie passes away. Barbie actually passed away from overextension. Yeah, overexertion. Is that what it is? Where they work out too much. So even though Barbie has always been really healthy, she just kind of pushed herself too hard. And if you have been following the series from the beginning, you know that Barbie cares a lot about working out. That was something she always maintained. She always ran. She cared very much about her physical appearance, and she just is getting older, running around now essentially as a single mom, and she just really did too much. And so it was very sudden and very sad. But one thing I want to say was it was actually in Barbie's will for Chloe to take uh Darian, that's his name, not Darren, to take care of Darian, and that did not happen. So, as you can see from this picture, Chloe's actually pregnant when Barbie passes away, and so she kind of uses that. I don't want to say as an excuse, but she is like, I can't deal with this right now. Like, I can't take on this kid. And even though Nikki has two kids, they're a little older, and Nikki is just uh always the one that helps out with the family. She's the one that kind of stayed local even though she went to school. And so she's like, fine, I'll take Darian in. We, if you don't want to take him, that's fine. And that also kind of drives more of a wedge between Nikki and Chloe, because even though Nikki does it, she kind of resents the fact that Chloe has all this money and like this big old house and kind of one and a half kids, and she doesn't want to take the child, even though that was what Barbie wanted. So I think Barbie also didn't want to. I'm sorry. I think Chloe also didn't want to take Darian because she just remembers how that adoption situation took place, and like her relationship with her mom was really weird. And yeah, it's a lot happening to Chloe right now. A lot is happening with her. Here's a bright spot, sort of. Chloe is having a girl, which I'm so excited because that means this generation is really actually wrapping up. Like, we are very close to being fully in Generation 3, which I'm so excited. If you only knew how much gameplay happens off screen. And I'm not gonna lie, personally, I'm just like ready to move on from Chloe a little bit. But the kind of sad part is that, Gary didn't even go with her. Like, and even like she's here watching Gary Jr. Uh, Gary is off at work. Oh, by the way, Stacey had to go. There was a little too much flirtation going on, so that's also even further drawing a wedge between Chloe and Gary. It's just, I feel really bad for Chloe in this episode because, like, again, things are not what they seemed. But Generation 3 is here, and I'm ecstatic. The baby's name is Dionne. Uh, yeah, I'm just so happy to like be moving on to a different character. And I will say that's partially because this I played Chloe with aging off for a very long time and Barbie with aging off for a very long time. And I'm just starting to get into my like play with the Sims on a normal or long lifespan. And so yeah, that's kind of what's happening now. And this is baby Dionne. Isn't she ridiculously adorable? She's so freaking cute. I'm again super excited about baby Dionne and just like this next chapter to play this with aging on and start. I think I'm starting to like let things happen to my Sims before I was like, if it's not my story, I don't want it to happen. And I'm just starting to let go. So let's do some family time. So I want to show you Gary Jr. just a little bit while he's a child. This story is not about Gary Jr. at all, but you know, I do like Gary Jr. Gary is working with him on his charisma because, you know, that's very important to Gary. Like, Gary really wants Gary Jr. to follow in his footsteps. And so he helps him with those kind of things. They're pretty close. And yeah, that's kind of what's going on with the family. I just thought this was like a cute shot of like kind of their life. Gary Jr. is a very happy child. He's enjoying his life. He doesn't really mind having a little sister. It hasn't like affected him in any weird ways. And so this is a good night for Gary, and Chloe. They actually are out at an event, and I think this is kind of when they work well together because they're on the same page. Like, Chloe's goal is Gary, and Gary's goal is Gary. So, they are at an event. After this event, they're gonna go. I'm not gonna say it. I'll just let you say. But yeah, they're having a really good time. This is where another thumbnail photo came from because this night they were just really enjoying themselves. Chloe looks stunning. Gary knows Chloe looks stunning. And I think these are the times he's really like happy that he chose Chloe. And also Stacey's out of the picture, and so Gary is slightly less erratic. Sure, girl. Whatever you want to do. Gary is gonna always encourage um people to connect. And also, I think Chloe likes to see people kind of fawning over Gary. She enjoys that. She feels like that this is kind of like what all her sacrifice is for. Um, Also, I don't know where this build is from. So if you want to know, ask me in the comments and I'll look for it. But it's a really nice build. Like, this is really cute. Good times continue. They're just cuddled up on this little couch area, which I think they look so amazing. Also, I love her red shoes with her purple dress and her red lip. It looks so good. And they're just having a great time. They had a couple drinks. I'm taking a few screenshots. But yeah, they had a couple drinks, and this is really like them in their element, but they actually have to go to the next venue, so we will move on to that. So they actually hop in a helicopter to go to their next venue, which is a little away, but not super far. They go to Del Sol Valley, to the, as you can guess, if you've been playing this game, you can kind of guess where they're going. Ignore this plane. They're in a private helicopter going to this event. And they are going to the award show, and this is really exciting for Chloe. Again, I think Chloe is feeling like, oh, this is why I am here. Like, I made a great choice to be in love with this person. He's like not always perfect, but this is the life that I wanted. And see, they had to mess up my outfits. Like, let's fix that game. Like, why couldn't they have on the same outfit? Why are they changing? So I'm putting the outfits back on. And the reason they're going to this is mainly like so Gary can kind of schmooze a little bit with the different celebrities. Like, the closeness of him and these celebrities kind of help him with his political career. It makes him look more powerful. It makes him look cooler and like, he's down to earth. And he also kind of already has some of these relationships because he used to play football. So he does already have these relationships. And I'm just trying to figure out like how they're gonna get in. I don't. It's been so long since I've like really played with fame in this way. Like, I don't really play with the fame system that much unless it makes sense. And even then, I don't do the awards or anything like that. I just let them accumulate fame, but we'll get them in the venue. It's still early, and Gary is talking to Robert Westmore, who is a famous documentarian. Like, he focuses on nature and wildlife and just the state of the planet. He's a very chill guy. But Gary thinks this is like a great guy to align with because he, it again, it makes him seem more politically aware, and that he cares about the environment, that he cares about everything and everyone, and they're just taking a few pictures before the event really gets started. Here's Chloe with his wife. She actually is a very famous actress. She takes like very heavy roles, intense, dramatic roles. They're an interesting couple in this game. But yeah, Chloe's getting some pictures herself too, so she's enjoying this. I'm late. I'm realizing how much I'm talking about Gary in this episode, and I low key hate it. So we are moving on to another milestone with Chloe. She's officially quit her job. She finished law school. Well, she's about to be finished law school. She didn't finish it quite yet. Um, so she officially quit her job. Partially because it was just like, this is like crunch time for school. And she knows that this is something she wants to move on to. She's done with the angel investment career. It has brought her a lot of money, has taught her a lot about business. And so, yeah, she's moving on. And then I just want to show you baby Dionne, because she is now a toddler. So she now has her room. She's out of the crib. Of course, Chloe has her in this like super girly get up with her little braids. She's pretty independent. Gary Jr. is still a child, but I think he will be a teen very soon. There is a little bit of a age gap between them. Um, Loves his word critters. And I think Gary's gonna tell him like, stick to your opinions. That's very important for you to be like a strong kind of like alpha type leader in this situation. But yeah, I just wanted to just add in some little snippets of like regular daily life. I know there's so many milestones and big events in this episode, so it's nice to have like these little moments of like they're just home, they're just a regular family of four, with the son getting some leftovers. I feel like that was too much of a tease of Dionne's face. Well, I didn't show her face before, but I want you to like see her face at least a little bit, like especially because we're not gonna spend too much time focused on like the childhood years of her. So at least you can see how cute she is before she ages up into a child. I don't even know if we're gonna see her as a child. I'm just so ready to move on to generation three at this point. Like Chloe has been through the ringer. And I feel like everything that she earned in this life, she has struggled for it in like a really complicated way. I also put so much CC in my game that I'm sometimes surprised at how it even works. But I'm like, wow, that really looks exactly like cereal. And I don't know if that necessarily ignore the fact that Gary Jr. stinks. He'll shower after he eats. And he's definitely eating cereal with a fork. Oh no, it's a spoon. I was like, wait a minute. Uh, anyway, it's graduation day. It's raining, blah. But it is, you know, Chloe is officially a law school grad. So she is ready to start her attorney career. We don't care about any of these other students. They were not relevant to the story at all. She did not really form relationships with these people. Like she was very focused. And I think that's kind of just what happens like when you go to school as an adult sim instead of like a young adult sim or like fresh out of high school, when she would have wanted to. But she is very proud of herself for this achievement because it's essentially like she's checking off things of her bucket list. And meanwhile, we didn't talk about this. First of all, let's look at this beautiful rainbow after after the rain. I feel like that's almost like symbolic of what this episode feels like a little bit. But I did want to point out that they also own property, more like Gary owns the property. Chloe does not care about this property. She does not really handle any of the tenant stuff unless like it's an emergency or something. But yeah, Gary owns two properties. So yeah, they are very comfortable. I will say they're like upper middle class, but they also have like a lot of money moving back and forth, like with her going to school, like him investing in these properties, them living in this big house. They have a lot of things going back and forth. But this episode was a doozy for me. Like so much happened. I feel like I didn't even really get to talk to you guys and ask you questions. So please talk to me in the comments. Thank you for watching. I'm symptomistic, like optimistic, but make it sense. Bye, some friends.